Hi, I'm Vince Rountree with Eat Plants and Thrive, and I just exposed my business on BizLink's TV network. Learn more about how individuals with type 2 diabetes can get off of medication by treating the cause with food. Coming up on my episode of That's My Biz on bizlinks.tv. For type 1 diabetics, their pancreas is not producing insulin. Okay. Insulin is a hormone and it's a carrier that allows glucose to get from the bloodstream into the cells of the muscle. Okay. And there's type 1 diabetes where there is no glucose. Okay. There is no insulin. Okay. And then there's type 2, and type 2 diabetes are people who we'll call insulin resistant. Okay. And that means that their pancreas is making insulin, okay, but for some reason, that insulin is not allowing the glucose to get into the cells. Okay. And we'll talk about why that doesn't happen.
Okay, that's interesting. So, I mean, they both sound bad, obviously, but right. Type 2 is much more serious than type 1?
They're both serious.
Okay, right.
The difference is that type 1 is an autoimmune disease. Okay. And as a result, there's no cure for that. Mm-hmm. Type 2, your pancreas is making insulin. Okay. And what we will talk about is there is a way for many people to actually reverse their type 2 diabetes and get off of their medicine as long as they're eating the foods that don't keep it to continue.
Okay, I tell you, when we've talked about things, it's really interesting when you start getting into the plants and how that all makes a difference. Yeah. So let me just dive right in first, and before we even talk about the plants, because I know one particular ingredient, talking about carbohydrates. Mm-hmm. So hit on a little bit about carbohydrates and how it affects this disease or affects your body. Yeah,
so carbohydrates, there's a couple of things on carbohydrates. The first thing is that a carbohydrate chemically is a sugar. So okay, that is part of what is so confusing. Mm-hmm. The other part that's confusing is people put carbohydrates in one bucket. Okay. That is a huge mistake, yeah, because cotton candy is a carbohydrate.
Pure sugar, right?
Pure sugar, and so are carrots. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Carbohydrates. Mm-hmm. So candy is carbohydrates. They say lollipops are carbohydrates, and so are lentils, mm-hmm, carbohydrates. Mm-hmm. The thing is that the vast majority of carbohydrates that most Americans eat are refined carbohydrates. Okay. And it's the refined carbohydrates that's the problem. Okay. Whole plant foods, okay, are very high in carbohydrates, okay, and incredibly healthy. So beans and brown rice and sweet potatoes and fruits and veggies loaded with carbohydrates, okay, and very, very healthy. Okay. So it's very important to have that distinction. Okay. With regards to what's happening to the glucose levels, mm-hmm, when you eat refined carbohydrates, the glucose levels do go up in everybody, whether you're diabetic or not. If you were to measure your blood glucose levels after eating anything, mm-hmm, certainly carbohydrates, your blood glucose level will, okay, go up. The thing is with diabetics is that it will stay, it goes up higher, okay, and it stays up.